I can't imagine that I would ever get bored of fashion, ever. Because it's always different, it's always new, and there's always something to see and to get excited about.
Do you still think London Fashion Week is exciting? And yeah,
I think London Fashion Week is getting better and better. And I think since they moved to Somerset House, and
I love that new venue.
you know, new organisation, Caroline Rush and the team, Harold Tillman, it just seems to be going on the up.
I remember before they were like 3-4 people team, British Fashion Council. Now they have like a 30 people
it's
team.
Fantastic. So and I think every season too we see more people becoming involved. You know, like for next season there'll be McHugh,
Stella McCartney,
and Stella's doing something, and I think, you know, that is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's excellent. Do you kind of have that, like when you see a designer, like you always know that there's something that you catch, or like when you see a collection, do you know that you like it or you're not, or you don't make that kind of decision?
I think if I see a collection, I mean, I will know instantly if I like it. But that's quite a personal thing. It's nothing really to do with whether it's commercial or... It's to do with my own imagination, I think. And especially if there's something that is slightly ethnic or tribal, that always intrigues me. Because a lot of fashion is kind of like cookie cutting, you know, very, very similar. So when I see a collection that's got something, I don't know, just different, and I guess especially with your collections, because of Turkey and your Turkish heritage, that's what I love, that little elements of that come through.
And do you think through internet actually people are more kind of in touch with fashion? Because, you know, like there's lots of bloggers now, like lots of people became fashion critics, and I mean there's probably downside and there's positive side, but people on the street can relate to fashion much more easy. Do you think that's a good thing? Like,
I think it's a very good thing, and I think, you know, the whole digital age has made younger people, you know, a whole generation of people, more kind of savvy about fashion, more knowledgeable. And even if they're not aware of it, they're almost kind of becoming well versed in all the names and lots of, you know, things about fashion that perhaps, I don't know, 20 years ago people wouldn't have had a clue. And I think also the other thing that's changed is with companies like H&M doing these collaborations. So maybe, you know, they've just done one with Versace, for example. People know a lot about Versace, but the collaboration they did with Comme des Garçons about 2 years ago, I thought that was really inspired, because there's a lot of people who never would have seen a Comme des Garçons outfit, because they, you know, there's only a few shops, not many stores sell it. So but through H&M, a lot of people made this contact, made this, you know, connection. I just feel very lucky to do, you know, to be involved, and I think the people are fantastic, and I love, you know, the imagination, and I love seeing ideas come to life. You talk to a designer, you know, and he might tell you, you know, how I started with this and then that and that, and it's fascinating the way all the thought processes go on. So something that starts in here and then becomes a two-dimensional sketch then ends up as a three-dimensional piece of fantasy, wearable, which I think is brilliant. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit like a kind of alchemist, you know, mixing up something in a laboratory.